let's get into it. Los Angeles Lakers season preview. Obviously, they had their media day. What was it? It was yesterday when they had their media day, right?
Yeah, media day was yesterday.
Yeah, because the Clippers had theirs on Monday. Thomas actually went. So shout out Thomas. He actually went to Clippers media day. But yeah, they had their media day on Monday. They all said the right things for the most part. But you as a Laker fan, what did you think about LA? Well, number one, what did you think about the Lakers media day and the stuff that came out from media day? And then number two, what do you think about just how they look in general and what this team could possibly be this season? Looking at the roster, now that the roster seems to be pretty much set.
Cool. So I'll start with media day. Media day was everything looked solid, but like you said, it's very hard for something to go wrong during media day. There's no opponent next to you. There's no sort of evaluation. You can't really see much. It's media day. It's all smiles and laughs. But media day was solid. We saw the last week. One thing really didn't sit well with me was a reporter asked Westbrook if he how he feels about the Lakers want him there. I don't think
that was a crazy question. That was a crazy question to ask.
It disappointed me a lot. Lakers media has to be better. If we want to build a winning culture, which is something we haven't really had over the past 2 years for the most part, those questions have to stop now. Every player has to feel comfortable here where they're at. Westbrook already, obviously, last year he didn't have a too good affair with the media and the fans. They booed him. The media asked him stupid questions just like how they did yesterday. But that's still like that has to clean up right now. We stopped those nonsense media questions. We get locked in. A lot of other stuff is looking good. Russell Westbrook and Patrick Beverly, multiple reports of them. Patrick Beverly himself coming out and saying Westbrook has been his best friend so far in the Lakers. Talked about how they spend time together, how Westbrook actually did things for him back when he was on the Rockets. He got his sister courtside seats. A lot of good stuff going on with this Laker team. I thought they did a great job of addressing some of the things that they needed, and that was youth. They got a lot younger. A lot of the times last season, you notice they got a lot younger and they got size. A lot of times last season, you would notice they will have guys who probably shouldn't be there. Like, for example, the guys like Trevor Ariza. Where is he signed now? Nobody has him. There's a reason why he's not in the league now. He's probably 3-4 years out the league. It's just very hard to win games and do things like play defense, make your rotation, stay in front of people when you got Trevor Arizas, Dwight Howards, Carmelo Anthony's, guys of that caliber, Rondo, just older guys is out of. They kind of washed out some of the older guys that they had. That's something I thought really helped them back a lot. And they got younger. They picked up guys like Lonnie Walker's, the Damian Joneses, the Thomas Bryant's. So they moved in the right direction. They still, obviously, there's one major gap in this roster, but I don't think it'll hurt them that much. I'm pretty sure you would agree with this one as well. They don't have too many big wings. And that's a problem. Obviously, you have LeBron James, but LeBron James is, 38 now, right? 38 years old?
Something like that.
38, 39, one or the other. That could be a problem for this roster. I'm not really too concerned about that because everywhere else I think we're very solid. I think when you have talent like LeBron and Anthony Davis, talents like that are built to make up for holes such as things like bad wings. But I think the Lakers are moving in the right direction. Everything is looking very good. I saw Kendrick Nunn out there, a guy who last season we all were anticipating him. We never got him. He's out there. I think he's going to help the team a lot. A guard who can knock down the mid-range, get in transition, score pretty easily, a floater in between game, can finish at the rim. Undersized guard, but he brings something that a lot of the guards we had last year simply couldn't do. And that's break down the defender, get to the rim, get a layup, take some pressure off LeBron, take some pressure off the other guys, and make something happen for himself. I think he averaged 15 or 16 points last season he played in Miami. Can score the ball very easily, picked up Dennis Schroeder. A lot of guards. I'm not really liking how – I'm not sure how it's going to all work out. And it's hard to really come out and say who I want starting. It's hard to say I want Damian Jones here, or I think Schroeder should be the starting point guard. I think it kind of – we really got to play Lakers fans. You really want to pay close attention to what happens in the preseason or whatever reports you can get out of training camp to see who's playing the best. I think that's who they should eventually end up going with. It's more of a rhythm thing. I don't think anybody has done anything in the past to prove that they should be in certain spots. So we just got to see how this plays out. I'm very, very excited. I'm excited to see how Darvin Ham adjusts the culture down in Los Angeles. It seemed like the players were kind of over. Certain players were over Frank Vogel and the methods he had. Sometimes people will question if they respect him or not because he never played in the league. I've heard reports like that. But Ham has been in the league. He's a younger coach. It seems like he's really connecting with the guys. It seems like his energy is really getting around to the entire team and a lot of camaraderie going on. And it seems like that everything's headed in the right direction. I do think Westbrook should be a starter. I think he should be a for sure starter. I think him, AD, and LeBron should be locked for the starting lineup. I think we've got to see it. I don't think you just come off and bring them off the bench off the rip because there's too many possibilities of them. Them three are too great to not try it again. You got to run it back. I know it didn't look too great in the small sample size we got last season, but I think you throw them out there this year. we'll see what happens. We got to give it a shot. If it doesn't work again, after we get a decent sample size, go ahead, try to bring them out the bench, see however that works. You end up sending them wherever that goes. But I think Westbrook, LeBron, and AD should be the only locks for the starting lineup for the Lakers, and then we'll figure out the rest throughout the preseason through training camp, and we'll see how it plays out there. I love the Lonnie Walker pickup, guy who can replace Malik Monk was obviously a huge loss for the Lakers. He ended up signing in Sacramento, who we'll get to later in this podcast. But I think Lonnie Walker can replace the production he had. He averaged a career high about 13 points last season for the Spurs, can score off the bounce. Can get to the rim, can hit an open three, can do a lot of different things. And Malik Monk, athletic, can finish over the top of people, things like that. I think he can kind of replicate a lot of what Malik Monk brought, which was spurts of scoring, fun scoring, getting out, transition, lobs, all that fun stuff. Love that pickup. I love I like how we got more length. A lot of times last year, you notice sometimes Dwight Howard was out of the lineup a lot. AD was out of the lineup a lot. A lot of our bigs dropped, but we picked up a Damian Jones, big 7-foot center who can jump, finish at the rim, finish lobs, pick up Thomas Bryant, and now we don't have to see. Last year, Lakers got killed when they had to. They ran LeBron James at the 5, and that's not going to work specifically under the circumstances you had last season. I don't like that at all. When LeBron is at the 5 and he's not boxing this man out, and he's chasing that Kareem record, he's not closing out on shooters. He's not doing what he's supposed to do. You end up letting Naj Reid get 8 offensive rebounds on you.
Well, that was crazy.
You end up stuff like you end up Bates dropped a guy on the Spurs. I remember he dropped like 35 on the Lakers. Yeah. I can go on and on. Stuff like that happened last year due to the lack of size, but that was addressed in the offseason. You bring a Damian Jones, you bring a Thomas Bryant in, you get a healthy AD. I think that's going to drastically improve our interior for the Lakers. So this is why I'm really excited about this. Well, no more Carmelo Anthony at the 5 lineup. That definitely happened last year as well. No more of that. No more LeBron at the 5. And also, just you bring it up. I really address Patrick Beverly. I also think he should be a starter as well. I think those 4 should be locks for starters and figure out the last spot. But you bring in Patrick Beverly to where when LeBron is missing his rotations, not boxing out Naz Reid and not closing out on guys like Bates Job and not doing what he's supposed to be doing, you have a guy like Pat Bev. Hey, that's your rotation, man. We playing for something here. I know you're trying to do whatever you got to do, but you got to do more than score. You got to do the little things. I need you to box out. I need you to be here. Hold him accountable. Hold AD accountable. Hold Westbrook accountable when he's getting beat back door by Zach LaVine 4 times in a row. When he can't stay in front of the Darius Garlands and different things happen in the league. But I think the Lakers have done an excellent job this offseason for what they had. Obviously, last year we signed a bunch of big names. We brought in Westbrook and we signed in the Melo little world.
Okay. You said all of this. What do you expect? Are they a 6 seed? Are they a 4 seed? Are they a championship team? You said all of this, but haven't said anything. Do you think that their improvements are good enough to make them like you got the 2020 hat on? Do you think their improvements have been good enough to make them a championship contender, or even put them in the conversation with 2 other teams in this very same division that I think we both think that those teams are better than the Lakers?
I believe so.
3 teams, actually. 3 teams, maybe. Well, one is kind of in disarray, so we don't know. But okay, go ahead.
I think so. If healthy, I think so. Only thing we lack, but there is some couple. I would like for him to maybe go out and get a wing, maybe a Doug McDermott, shoot the lights out. Shooter, he's on the Spurs right now. I don't think his price tag will be too high. Maybe a Cam Reddish, bring in a Jay Crowder, kind of unrealistic because we don't have that many assets. But I think we may be one wing piece away from legit saying I can really buy in on this team. But I want to buy in on this team because I feel like LeBron and AD are good enough if on the court to make up for that hole we have with wings. And it's going to come in and it should be a smooth process. But I would like them to go out and maybe acquire somebody else who can defend and shoot to help the space the floor and take some pressure off LeBron defensively on the wing. But I think that this team should be all right as long as everybody's on the court and we get to see what they look like.
How many wins?
53, 52.
Okay, we're lying now. All right. So anyway, Los Angeles Lakers, right? All right, cool. I don't think there's anything the Lakers can do to be a championship team besides make LeBron James 32 years old again. That's the only chance they have to be a championship contending team. Take LeBron James and find the quantum realm that they found in fucking Endgame and send that man back and bring 32-year-old LeBron James and put him on here. And then I think you will have a championship team.
They got 28-year-old AD.
They have 30-year-old AD.
They got 30
years old.
Same thing.
Hey, you might even need to go back in the quantum realm once again and go get 2020 AD.
No, you don't need 2020 AD.
No. You might need to go back and go get Bubble Anthony Davis. If you can go back to October 2020 and go get Bubble Anthony Davis and put him with 32-year-old LeBron, we have done some, and put him with before COVID Russ. We have done some shit. But since I don't think there's any way that you can do that, no, I don't think there's nothing the Lakers can do to be a championship contending team. Now, I do think if healthy, what does that even mean at this point? Because I mean, again, LeBron James is 38 years old. He's still playing 37 minutes. Well, last year he played 37 minutes. I would assume this year it'll probably be more about 34 minutes a game. But still, you're 38 years old playing. But still, you're 38 years old playing 34 minutes a game. So I don't even know what LeBron James, quote unquote, healthy even looks like. Anthony Davis, it really ain't never been healthy. So I don't really know what that looks like. But I do think that Russ, second year in this, I don't want to say in this system because what the hell was the system last year, but second year on this team. I just think that even when you saw him, granted, it's our off season, the Lifetime fitness videos have scammed us for many years. But at least when you saw him working out at Lifetime, you saw him working on things that I would assume he would be doing in the season. Like, obviously, all right, we would love, for Bron to, move up to the 4 and go to the corner and, let Russ handle the offense. But realistically, that's just not going to fucking happen. So if that's just not going to happen, you need to practice more things off ball, which, he was working on his jumper. I mean, you even saw him, Bron, and AD. I think they was practice and they was having 3-point contest. So you see him working on things, and maybe, obviously, I don't know who becomes a better shooter in fucking year 14, who has never historically been a great shooter, but at least, you can maybe find a spot on the floor where we can think that you can shoot 36% from. And I also think one of the main things that they had an issue with last year was defense. Even when they won the championship, they were never a great offensive team. Like, they could score some points, but that wasn't why they won those games. Like, they won those games because they had a great defense. Everybody bought in defensively. So my thing is, buy in defensively once again. I mean, you brought in Patrick Beverly. I think Patrick Beverly is a guy who, I don't think he's some superstar or some, lifetime changing player, but I do think he's a guy who would come in, bring a different type of energy, hard nose, and toughness, and hold people accountable. I don't think you'll see as many defensive lapses with Russ if Patrick Beverly's, out there talking. Number one, he's gonna talk. Number one, he's gonna communicate. I'm pretty. You go to a game, you gonna hear. Like I told you, I said courtside. Granted, they was beating the hell out the Blazers. It was New Year's Eve. Probably wanted to get out there and go have fun, but I didn't really hear nobody talking on the court. It was a very quiet game. I guarantee you, you sit courtside and Patrick Beverly there, you gonna hear somebody talking. Even if he not playing, somebody gonna be talking. So I do think that is a thing that can help them be a better basketball team. But again, I don't think there's anything that they can do to be a championship team. Now, I don't expect them to be what were they, like 11th last year?
I think 11th or 12th.
Yeah,
whatever is out the
not granted. I don't expect them to be 11th or 12th. That would be grotesque. But yes, but I think maybe 5th, 6th seed, first, maybe second round, depending upon matchup. I do think it's very possible for this team. But obviously, I mean, let's be realistic. This season's about LeBron James taking Kareem's record. We're gonna sell a whole bunch of tickets.
No, it's a lot bigger than that.
This season, the Lakers are gonna hang their hat on the fact that midway through the year, they're gonna have no problem selling out games because LeBron James is gonna be near Kareem's scoring record. And then they're probably gonna be a 6th seed and get around into a playoff revenue. And they're gonna get $41 million from Russ being off the books. And then we're gonna just try it again. We're gonna try something again because we have $41 million of cap room. As far as the acquisitions, Dennis Schroeder, I guess. I think he's a good. No. I mean, Schroeder's a good basketball player. It's not like he can't play basketball. I just think that
playing overseas.
Yeah, like I just think that when you have to depend on Schroeder, which I think the Lakers had to do too much the year when he was starting at point guard, when you have to depend on Schroeder, I don't know if that's necessarily what you want to do, but I do think he is a guy that can add to your basketball team, especially if he's coming off the bench. You have a guy like Lonnie Walker. If I'm Lonnie Walker, I look at what Malik Monk did last year, and I'm like, yo, I'm playing in LA. Even if we are terrible, if I come out now hoop, somebody's going to sign me because I'm going to get some money because the spotlight is always on Los Angeles. So even if we do have a terrible season, I want to come in. This is a guy who, came into the league with kind of injury concern. I think he had a broken foot his rookie year. You've been kind of in San Antonio, kind of under the radar. Also, San Antonio had, they had DeMar, they had Devin Vassell, they've had Doug McDermott. Even DeJounte Murray. Then they got the new guy, Josh Primo. Basically, they've had many people at his position, or like at or around his general position, where I don't necessarily know if he ever got the time to shine the way he feels like he probably deserved the time to shine. So again, you're coming here in LA. My advice to him would be have the best season of your career. Have the best season of your career, and you will get some money from somebody else moving on next year, whether that be the Lakers, obviously, because they'll have cap room freeing up, or somebody else. Troy Brown, I like that acquisition. Again, same advice to him. If you come out here and you ball, Juan Toscano Anderson, same advice for him. And Juan Toscano Anderson, luckily for him, he comes from a winning culture. So he don't really know what it's like to lose like that outside of the 1 year, I think, in Golden State, when they really weren't playing for anything. Other than that, he's come from a pretty winning culture. And even in Golden State, they didn't have a losing culture. They just weren't winning at that point in time. They didn't have a losing culture. They just had a bad year.
Talking about the year they missed the playoff.
Yeah. Well, the 2 years they missed it. It was 2 years.
It was 2 years.
It wasn't like they had a culture of losing. They
bubble in the following year. The bubble in the following year.
Yeah, they just didn't, So again, like I said, I don't think there's anything they can do to be a championship team outside of literally go to the quantum realm, get the same machine that fucking Ant-Man came through at the end. Well, no, at the beginning of Endgame, but do it reverse. Go back 7 years and get 32-year-old LeBron James, then go back 3 years and get Bubble AD, and then get before COVID Russ and put them on the court. Then maybe got a championship team. But I still think they can be a good basketball team. And I think that even with Frank Vogel, right? Frank Vogel historically has never been the best offensive coach. So then you decide to go out and give him Carmelo Anthony. You give him players who have never once been known for defense ever in their life. Literally, right after they won the championship, they was like, well, we're going to change the whole entire roster. Rondo, you know what? Bye. We're going to bring in Montrezl Harrell and Dennis Schroeder and guys who have never once in their natural lives been known as defenders. And you know what Frank Vogel does well. If you know nothing else about Frank Vogel teams, they going to play some defense.
That's fact. So, biggest loss was Kuzma, I feel like.
Who?
Kuzma, was it? Kuzma. He was in him and KCP.
Yeah. You take all them away. You give him all offensive players and be like, all right, we know you don't. We know you have historically been, a great even worse. Even worse. Now, if they were at their peak offense, whatever. But we talking about guys who used to be great offensive players, who are still good offensive players, but they aren't in their primes anymore. You give him that and say, hey, go fix it. Hopefully, Darvin Ham can come with something new. He's black. He's played in the league. He's closer to these guys' age. He's closer to these guys' culture. So if he can come and just relate to them on a man level, and they can just be a better basketball team. And honestly, with the Lakers, man, I just want to see them play hard every night. It was so many times last year where it just didn't look like all of the guys were playing that hard.
That was the Kareem Farewell tour. That was not Farewell, but that was the Kareem Stat Pad tour. That's what that was.
It was like they were all playing that hard. So
it was bad.
So if I had to put a win prediction, I would say high 48. I would say realistically, I probably think about 45, 46 wins at best.
Not too far
off. At best, but yeah, I don't think I don't think that they are a championship team at all. No way. I don't even know if they're gonna even be the third best team in this division. But
so you basically saying LeBron not that good anymore. That's what you like.
I mean, he's good, but like he's
with good supporting pieces.
I mean, he's good, but he's 38 years old, and also I don't think the supporting cast is that great.
Is he still top 10? It's pretty good. What's the Westbrook? Westbrook, Anthony Davis. Top 35 of all time.
I mean, listen, he's probably like 5, listen, he's probably like 5 to 10. And if I have to win one game for my life, there's still maybe only 2 to 3 players I'm taking over LeBron James. But he's still probably 5 to 10. I just don't think that this is you could put anybody with LeBron and get the same results. Now, I think if he changed his play style, and he took, I don't want to say more of a back seat, but I want to say just change his play style. and relinquish some ball handling responsibilities. Maybe you don't score 28 a game, maybe you score 22 points a game. If he relinquished some of his some of his responsibilities and started playing the game of basketball differently than the way he's been playing over the past 10 years, I think you might see different results. But I don't think that's going to happen. So if he's going to keep playing the way that he's been playing, doing what he's doing, again, it's going to continue to compromise Russ slightly. It's going to continue to compromise Anthony Davis slightly. Then I think you're going to get a team that's 45 to 48 wins. Now, again, if this was 32-year-old LeBron James, it don't fucking matter who you compromise because he's so greater than everybody else. So that's my opinion with the Lakers. We can leave it there. I'm honestly tired of talking about the Los Angeles Lakers. My homie is in my homie, shout out Dan, is in my group chat right now talking about we clips and brews and talking about me with the Lakers and everything else. I'm tired of talking about the Lakers until they actually roll the balls out there and play a game of actual basketball. But moving